Anyway. But let's get to the first story of today. Jack Teheria, right? Am I saying that right? Is it Jack Teheria?
Junior member of the U.S.
Wait, hold on. He'll say it right in a second. Teixeira? Jack Teixeira is appearing in U.S. court, and he is charged over the Pentagon leaks. We're going to talk about that right now.
U.S. National Guard has just appeared in court in Boston to face espionage charges over a huge leak of secret government documents. Jack Teixeira, who is 21, was arrested by FBI agents yesterday. The material reveals sensitive intelligence on topics including the war in Ukraine. And some of the pictures from the last few minutes with family members and others and the legal teams leaving the court in Boston. In the last 45 minutes or so, that news emerging that that whole court appearance has been completed. The key line was the charge, of course, charged with unauthorized removal and retention of classified documents and materials. And we know that he will be detained pending trial. Not quite clear in terms of when exactly that trial will be slated for, but certainly he will be detained pending trial, and he has been allocated a public defender. But that court appearance happening as, of course, all the media flocking round the family members and the legal teams firing questions, and so many questions there are of how this 21-year-old was able to access the level of sensitive documents that we actually saw. We know a little more about it.
That's his dad, bro. That's not him. His dad also works at the base, though, or his stepdad, sorry. He has a stepdad and a stepbrother that also works at the same base. I believe his stepbrother might even have like a higher level of clearance as well. So, yeah, I mean, listen, do I think this story is funny? Absolutely. I think it's great. Free my man. I don't give a fuck what his political perspective is, okay? He didn't do nothing wrong, okay? What did he do? He wanted to do some grooming on some Discord kittens, you know what I mean? In the right-wing kind of way, though. So, of course, the right is going to defend him. No matter what happens, they will defend him because, again, remember, it's okay when they do it, guys. It's okay when they do it. Now, his intentions are not, like, pure or just, obviously, but even then, you know, leaking CIA operations and top secret CIA documents, you're not gonna. I am not going to get mad at that. Okay, I'm not going to get mad at that.
He is 21. He is a member of the U.S. Air National Guard. He was listed as a member of the intelligence wing of the Massachusetts Air National Guard, and we also have documents filed by the US government confirming that he has held top security clearance since 2021. And according to our CBS partners, he joined that US government department, the US Air National Guard, back in 2019. So more of the details coming in all of the time. We'll return to those pictures around the court. Very fluid situation there. But I've been talking to Jess Parker in Washington, who's also, of course, monitoring what is happening. This is her latest assessment.
Been getting news from the court in Boston. As you've been outlining, what we're hearing is the suspect, Jack Teixeira, has been charged with unauthorized removal and retention of classified documents and materials. That from a US magistrate judge, and we're told as well that he'll qualify for a public defender. There were reports earlier that it wasn't actually clear if the suspect had a lawyer, and we're told as well.
Bro, it is, I'm sorry, dude, you got like, you're like a journeyman IT guy at a fucking military base. It's mind-boggling to me that you have access to this level of data. Like, it just... It's crazy. That's crazy. What the fuck is the military doing? The most powerful military on the goddamn planet, the most expensive military on the goddamn planet, owned by a dude that wants to do Discord memes. Like, literally. That's an IT guy, man. That's a fucking IT guy. How did that happen?
That the US Justice Department has requested that he be detained pending trial. So some breaking lines out of the court this morning here in the US. Of course, it was only yesterday that we got those quite dramatic pictures.
He even has put out videos on how to beat LRADs, and the police came after him. Wait, what? This guy is not the same guy. What are you talking about? Hasan, he needs the juice. Please, his videos are terribly unwatched. What are you... Bro, I thought you were literally talking about the dude on screen, man. Jesus fucking Christ, like...
Emerging of an arrest as FBI officers swooped down to arrest the 21-year-old suspect. He was just dressed in a short pair of shorts and a T-shirt, arrested, as we understand it, near the family home, and now quickly to court this morning to face those charges.
Jess, we're seeing some of those pictures now in terms of what you've described.
I agree it's funny, and I agree he shouldn't go to prison, but you don't think we should draw a line between leaks for journalistic and whistleblower purposes and leaks for winning Discord argument purposes? I think advocating for this weirdo undercuts activism for more serious leakers like Chelsea. Well, the reality is that, like, more serious leakers like Chelsea will probably be punished more severely too. That is the other side of it. Like, I think it's different, but ultimately I don't think that, like, first of all, I don't even think deterrence or punishment is a good deterrence for crimes in general. This is before we even talk about whether or not this should be considered a crime at all. So, you know what I mean? Like, I don't know. I think it's weird to... I don't think this is in any way, shape, or form similar to what Chelsea did, right? Clearly, I don't. But do I think that it's unintentional, intentional? Does it serve like a relatively decent purpose at the end of the day? I think so. You know what I mean? No way. He did it for clout on fucking Discord. No, I know he did. I know. I don't know why people are saying things that I know about it already. I'm just talking about, like, his intent versus his actions and versus what happened, okay? The unintentional consequences of his actions were is not something that I have a issue with. How do you think this compares to Trump and his docs? Why are you advocating for people to be able to leak classified info in general? I mean, I want to know. I want to know what the military is saying versus what the military is actually doing. Don't you? I pay for it. You know, I'm a record-breaking taxpayer in this goddamn country. You know what I mean? I want to know. I'm paying for it. What are they doing with it? The only issue I have is that if you don't redact certain aspects of the things that you're leaking, like, I think that there is some criminal components here, just not the ones that, like, the media or the government is focusing on. For example, when you leak information like this on a Discord server and it's, like, completely unvetted by a journalist or a third party that can, like, hide certain key parts of the information, you can potentially put innocent civilians at risk, right? I think that there is a reality to that. And that is something that could be punishable and should be punishable, as a matter of fact. So the way that he leaked this information is what makes it punishable, because he's a fucking dumbass. But if it was like, if he had done this by sending it to a fucking, instead of a Discord server, sending it to a fucking journalist, ultimately, that would be good. That would be not a bad thing. That would be a good thing. I am always going to be an advocate for leaking information about the government to journalists. Keith made me, you work. I talked to the guy the other day. He said, Joe Biden getting him off. You work for the government. True. Anyone unwilling to post a little classified info in the Discord to impress strangers, you are fake and a fraud. Yeah.
But the Pentagon a little earlier talking about why someone like this, a 21-year-old, would have access to the sorts of documents he had, talking about a review. But I mean, in terms of understatement, that really takes the biscuit, doesn't it?
Yeah, look, I think the Pentagon, the US government, facing some pretty serious questions now about.
This is such a weird take, dude. This is a weird way of getting that info, though. Wanting to know where your money is spent is not the same as being okay with top secret info being leaked. Well, let me clarify further. As long as key elements that pertain to civilian safety are redacted, I'm always in favor of top secret information being leaked. How about that? Is that good? That's my opinion. I think America is a warmongering international global superpower that is doing a lot of death and destruction all around the world. Our politicians lie about those actions. Our military lies about those actions. I would like to know what the truth is. As long as it's not leaking private information that pertains to civilians, citizens, unrelated people that could be put in harm's way as a consequence of that, then I don't care. You know what I mean? Good. It's a good thing, I think, in my opinion. Transparency is a good thing. I don't know why you're like, nah, man, keep it a secret. Fuck that. You're crazy. So, in my opinion, the main problem with the Discord leak overall is the way that it was done. And I guess the intent behind it was so stupid. And the way that it was done was so fucking stupid that there was nothing that was redacted. It was just like straight up uploaded photos. Does that make sense? Ha. Ne? Al sen istediğini söyle. Yok. Anyway.
About how the suspect may have accessed these documents, which is alleged, of course, that they were posted online amongst a kind of pretty small group of gamers from different parts of the world. And eventually the documents, it's reported, escaped that smaller group and began to leak more widely. Now, yes, we're being told that the Pentagon is going to review how highly secretive, highly sensitive information is distributed. But it's not as if we haven't talked about these kinds.
I think like one of the worst aspects of this is that like we very quickly moved on from the leak and what the leaks pertained to how this guy was arrested, why the government fucked up. Like, I want to know what the juice was. You know what I mean? I want to know what kind of information they had, what kind of intel they had on China. Like, they had a U-2 balloon, or a U-2 spy plane that literally took an aerial photo of the Chinese balloon. They had access to, like, literally what kind of photography that the Chinese balloon took. Anyway.
Of issues before. There have been quite high-profile cases in the last 15 years of leaks out of the US. And so I think it won't just be a question for the Biden administration, for example. It will be more systemic, looking at how this has happened. And the US networks, watching them this morning, constant sort of security experts coming on, being asked again and again, how could somebody who was relatively young potentially, possibly have access to this kind of information if they were also quite junior in their rank as well? Of course, the 21-year-old.
Yeah, let's rehash it all for our enemies. Cool idea. Yeah. No, literally, I do want to do that. Yeah. And I think you should be able to do that, as a matter of fact, because it's like, because, you know, free speech. I think it's, you know, knowledge that the public should have. U.S. intelligences may change how they monitor social media chat rooms. Yeah, see, this is what I mean. It's like, it's going to get so much fucking worse for even you chatters. Ukraine war. Leak shows Western special forces on the ground. That's crazy. Shocking. Shocking to me. According to the document dated 23rd of March, the UK is the largest contingent of special forces in Ukraine with 50, followed by fellow NATO states Latvia 17, France 15, the US 14, and the Netherlands 1. The document does not say where the forces are located or what they're doing. The number of personnel may be small and will doubtlessly fluctuate, but special forces are, by their very nature, highly effective. Their presence in Ukraine is likely to be seized upon by Moscow, which has in recent months argued that it is not just confronting Ukraine, but NATO as well. That's weird. What are they doing in Ukraine, you guys think? What do you guys think the NATO forces are doing in Ukraine? I thought that was like not Article 5. So shocking to find that information out. I mean, I'm sure they're just hanging out. You know? Probably the push for a ceasefire negotiations. Yeah, that's what I was thinking too. On Thursday, April 6th, log show Teixeira used his work computer to search classified intelligence for the word leak. Per criminal complaint filed in Massachusetts District Court, Jack Teixeira has been charged with unauthorized retention and transmission of national defense information, unauthorized removal and retention of classified material. Per affidavit filed by the FBI agent Patrick Lukenhoff of the Washington Field Office Counterintelligence Division states, images in Teixeira's leaks appear to depict documents used to inform senior military and civilian government officials during the briefings of the Pentagon. A user Teixeira's server told the FBI that Teixeira began posting what appeared to be classified information around December 2022. Oh my God, he was posting for so long. And photographs of documents around January, the affidavit states. The FBI affidavit cites a specific document mentioned by the user to describe the status of the Russia-Ukraine conflict and was based on sensitive U.S. intelligence. The user interviewed by the FBI said Teixeira told him he worried about being discovered taking notes on the classified documents at work. So he began taking the documents home and photographing them. Oh my God. Oh my God. The user told the FBI, he just took it out, dude. That's awesome. The user told the FBI details about Jack gleaned from their conversations on Discord. User one also described to the FBI his interactions with the individual posting under the subject username. In the course of those interactions, user one learned that the individual posting under the subject username called himself Jack, appeared to reside in Massachusetts, and claimed that he was in the United States Air National Guard. User one described that the individual posting under subject username is a white male who was clean cut in appearance between 20 to 30 years old. And then they got his name from Discord records. Lol. Imagine thinking you're private on Discord. Lol. Okay. U.S. government logs show Teixeira accessed the Ukraine war document in February, one day before he posted to his friends on Discord. On Thursday, April 6th, log shows Teixeira used his work computer to search classified intelligence for the word leak. The public reporting regarding the government information appeared on or around April 6, 2023. Accordingly, there is no reason to believe that Teixeira was searching for classified reporting regarding the U.S. intelligence community's assessment of the identity of the individual who transmitted classified national defense information, to include the government document. Yeah, he was very smart. Brilliant OPSEC on his behalf. Brilliant OPSEC on fucking, on behalf of the U.S. military. So glad that we give like $7 gazillion fucking dollars to the military every year. And then, this is what they got. This is what they got going on. I love and respect that, okay? I love that. At least we found that out about where our motherfucking tax dollars are going. You know what I mean? In line with its standard policy on such matters, the UK Ministry of Defence has not commented, but on a tweet on Tuesday said the leak of alleged classified information had demonstrated what it called a serious level of inaccuracy. Readers should be cautious about taking at face value allegations that have the potential to spread misinformation, it said. It did not elaborate or suggest which specific documents it was referring to. However, Pentagon officials are quoted as saying the documents are real. One document, which detailed the number of casualties suffered in Ukraine on both sides, did appear to have been doctored. UK Special Forces are made up of several elite military units with distinct areas of expertise and are regarded to be among the most capable in the world, 007 being one of them. That's right. The British government has a policy of not commenting on its special forces, in contrast to other countries, including the United States. The UK has been vociferous in its support for Ukraine, and is the second largest donor after the U.S. of military aid to Kyiv. Very nice. The bigger question is, why would the United States government give anyone with a Discord account top secret clearance? Sounds like an automatic disqualification for me. I mean, there will be like really funny rule changes that don't actually address the major problem. But they will probably have rule changes like that. Like, that's not even a joke. Like, they probably will literally be like, yeah, going forward, if you have a Discord account, like, you can't. Like, that'll be a part of, like, getting your level of, like, security clearance. No gamers. No War Thunder. Don't worry, everybody. Discord servers will still be heavily weaponized to stalk your favorite female content creators and do cum tributes to them. You know what I mean? That's what Discord is really for. It's not for leaking classified intelligence. It's for having arguments with people and then creating a splinter Discord because you don't have any friends in the real world. So you got to focus on making friends on the internet and then flexing on those friends that you made on the internet by inevitably leaking classified intelligence. Okay. How you know that? What do you mean? I'm a fucking content creator on the internet. I'm on Twitch. It's the most like Discord centered media platform on the fucking planet. The entire community has some level of neuroatypicality, neurodivergence, and they all gather on they all gather around fucking Discord. Anyway. Bro, did you just talk in the hashtag pray channel? Cringe. Yeah. Gets fan base, makes fun of them. I mean, I'm very much a part of the fan base, so anything I say, I'm making fun of myself as well. Exactly. Like this person gets it. He said, takes one to know one. Exactly. I would never have this level of fucking detail and knowledge if I wasn't also a freak. Okay? That's it. And plus the other side, the cyber stalking side, I have to know about because, again, more often than not, my friends and myself included are victim to these kinds of things. So.
Suspect a very young age, so lots of questions being asked, and I suppose over the coming days and weeks then more of these questions may be answered, but it has been an embarrassing episode for the United States, certainly.
Yes, you alluded to it, but I mean, plenty of warnings with Chelsea Manning and Edward Snowden in the past. So the obvious question of how something like this could happen again.
Thank you, please, Nuke Hoscore, for the 10 gifted subs.
But perhaps this time it is slightly different because he's not a whistleblower, he's not a foreign agent, he's not discontent or sceptical about the US government. This appears to be just a 21-year-old effectively showing off.
Yeah, I mean, that is certainly...
This part seems weird to me. Like, it does. It seems a little weird to me that it's just like, is just like a dude who wanted to show off to his fucking friends. Like, I don't get that. I don't understand that. I don't know how to describe it.
Only the kind of reports that we have been getting out of in the last few days. So this suggestion.
It is not if you're familiar with War Thunder leaks. No, I am familiar with War Thunder leaks. That part does make sense to me because it's like specifically directed. War Thunder leaks didn't happen because someone was like trying to flex. It happened because they were literally fighting against one another. And the level of classification for War Thunder leaks was nowhere near what we're talking about here. War Thunder leaks happened because people basically were arguing on the missile systems, and I believe like the real life the real life capabilities of a F-16. That was literally like, you know, the most A-worded engineering argument that you could have had. And that's why it happened, because people were like demanding that there be more accurate planes in their fucking milsim. Yeah. That and what they leaked in that circumstance wasn't even like technically the same. It wasn't the same level of classification as like ongoing war and US surveillance efforts. You know what I mean?
That the suspect, as I mentioned before, was part of a kind of online group of gamers where they took part in a number of kind of activities together, including, for example, praying together, playing games, watching films. And suggestions have been from friends on that group in reports here in the US that maybe
it's along the same lines as people insulated online communities who dox people or stream snipe to show off, except this time it's classified international conflict instead of a streamer's location. Yeah, no shit. So it is very different. Yeah, exactly. One is the American military, the most mighty fucking, the most capable institution on the fucking planet. The other is like a random streamer. You know what I mean? With pretty much no defense against that kind of thing. It's just a matter of access. The mentality is the same. I mean, I guess, but